Hello, everyone, to the latest Nitro F1 race. This race was at Baku. I was having streaming issues, so I started streaming this race, but my internet's been taking a big dookie the last week, so I had to resort to just recording this one. So there was no stream of this or the Daytona race, so um, all of it's being recorded. But we qualified second on softs. Mahu got pulled on softs, and then there was a mix of mediums and softs behind us. But we're just on the formation lap. This is going to be a dry race, and I usually feel pretty good about Baku, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, usually like driving around Baku, feel pretty good. But the interesting thing is that me and Gail were practicing, and we we know like preset four is naturally like the way to go here. It's because that really long straightaway. But going through that S, you have to. It's so scary. We decided to experiment. So what we've discovered was if you did preset three and you took out front wing, you could basically match preset four speed, but have a lot more control. So that was our plan. We actually started this on preset three, which people probably listening are probably like, "What? That's crazy!" But you take front wing out, and the car just feels a lot more better. So yeah, basically that's how that's gonna go. But here we are jumping to the start. So um, looking to try to get a good start. Maybe beat Mahu, but we're waiting, holding, and Mahu actually jumps the start and gets a drive-through penalty. We don't jump the start, and we get a nice launch. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, we're net leader. So technically, we're leading this race at this point, and we had a really good start too because we're already a second ahead of Matt behind me because they just didn't go. But yeah, I mean, I've pulled away a huge amount, and then there was some chaos in the back. But at this point, I felt really good just because, like, well, I got my I got the track position, and I know what strategy I want to do. And coming through the S's on lap one, then Mahu said he was going to come in for his drive through, but there's a huge crash in the back through the S's. Lazy actually ended up flipping, and the safety car comes up before Mahu can get into the pit lane, and so that means he can't serve his drive through. He's actually going to end up changing his tires instead because the only way to serve a drive through is under green flag conditions, and he was already committed to pit lane and had no way to avoid it. So he basically did a pit stop for nothing, and it was just terrible luck on his end. And then at the end of lap two, I decided I'm going to go get my mediums on and put that setup adjustment in. So, um, and looking at the gap, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm only going to fall to like fourth, fifth, or I was going to fall to like sixth. So I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good compromise, I say. More like actually just ending up in fifth because Mahu's got to do his drive through. But we're coming to the safety car restart, coming to lap six, and they went really early. I was a little surprised. I got caught sleeping a little bit. I was expecting to go really late just because how long the straightaway is, and so you don't get caught sleeping with the getting towed or some, getting slingshotted. So we go through turn one here, and then actually behind us, Libert's going to lose control and also DNF. And but that does not bring out a safety car or a VSC, so that was a little surprising. But I knew at this point I had to get going. And a little later in lap six, I caught up to Joseph, and he goes wide in that turn, and then he's just gonna end up letting us go here. So coming through this really fast section, it's a little dangerous sometimes, especially this turn that I cut away from. But lap nine, yeah, we jump up a few laps because it was just me running down the lead pack, and I ran down the lead pack, and I was feeling really good at this point because my tires were a little fresher, and I had that setup adjustment. So I was able to go through this sector one really well because I had the extra downforce, and I still had the straight line speed. And then Gale, being the generous teammate he is, lets me go, knowing that I've got the pace right now. And yeah, so feeling good at this point. And then we jump up to lap 10, and we have ran down Chafe, and I'm not using any ERS yet because I know I'm going to have the DRS. So, and there's not going to be much you can do. And you can just see going through the S's how much more confident I was. You can just see how much I gained, and then the run I get already before the DRS, and then basically no contest. I use a little ERS just to make sure I'm well ahead going into the next turn, but into turn one here. But yeah, I was feeling really good at this point, and then we were able to gain enough time down that straightaway to even be in Bacon's Cameron's DRS range as well down this straightaway to gain even more time. So, um, yeah, I was feeling really good at this point because I know they're going to go on hards because they have to because they start on medium. So even if they do undercut me, I know I'm going to be way faster than those hards. If they do get a little bit of a gap, so I'm feeling really, really good about my position in this race. But lap 11, Bacon comes in. We have taken the lead in the Baku GP, and whatever the GP is called, I know it's not called Baku GP, but yeah. Um, but yeah, we have taken the lead, and I feel really good about it because I think my pace right now is really good. And then Joseph retires after crashing in the S's, and that's going to actually bring out the safety car. And for once this season, the safety car will go in actually my favor because Bacon just did not have the time to go through enough turns to make up time to make up those positions that he lost. So we're going to end up coming to pits, and we come out of the pits, and then we're the leader. Matt's on the hards, and I'm like, I feel really good about that. And then Kermit ended up third. And he's actually on mediums too, so that's the guy I needed to worry about. But here we are coming to lap 15. I'm warming up my tires. I'm waiting a little longer, and then I just go dump a lot of ERS, and then just get a big gap going into turn one, and then shockingly, well, not too shocking, but I was how big the difference was. The mediums to the hards. We go through two turns, and I already have a 1 second lead. And I was really surprised. I was like, "How's my lead already 1.3 seconds down the straightaway?" It was like we gone through two turns, and we come out at the end of this lap, and we have a 2 second lead already. And I was like, "Holy crap!" I was a little stunned. I was like, "Really? That's the difference it makes?" And yeah, we have just this massive lead, and then we come to lap 16. It's a 3 second lead, but Kermit has finally got past Chaffee, and this is the guy I need to worry about because Kermit's really fast, but he's not very consistent most of the time and usually makes mistakes. But on lap 17, he's gained about 7/10 that lap, and I was like, uh oh. And I knew I might have been in a little bit of trouble because like I was driving, I wasn't driving like to the limit, but yeah, it was really bizarre. I thought my pace was better than this, but lap 19 you can see is at 1.2 seconds behind at this point, and I knew I didn't really know what I needed to do at this point because I was like I'm doing what I normally do, and it's like I thought my pace was really good, and we come to lap 21, about to come to lap 22 with just a few laps to go, and just trying to I use a little ERS to try to get through, and I'm hoping like he has issues in the S going through that because I go full throttle and he's not really having issues, and I know this is going to be really hard to defend because I'm start using ERS early, and I'm just trying to manage my ERS usage because I'm running low, just trying to keep him behind, and I know he's going to go for a move, so I go to the outside. I think it's easier to defend if you're on the outside of turn one and two, and he's not able to stick with it, and yeah, so just and at this point, I kind of knew, okay, if I can just keep a big enough gap, he's not going to be able to pass me through one if I can stay on the outside. But I need to make sure the gap's big enough. So, but coming um, lap later that lap here on lap 23, coming to lap 23, he's a lot closer this time, and I kind of knew at this point, unless he has a mistake, I'm in trouble, and he is only 1/10 behind me. I knew there's nothing I can do at this point. He's gonna get me no matter what. So yeah, nothing I can really do. I like, uh, yeah, he's at ERS, and I'm like, I know if I use ERS, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. So I was just gonna try to capitalize on him making a mistake, or if I can get him down this next straightaway. But I just have a bad one, and he's able to get away. And honestly, I don't know what was happening because my pace just doesn't feel great, and yeah, it was a little heartbreaking at that point. But yeah, just at this point, try to push as hard as I can to try to get him. But you can see coming lap 25, he's pulling the 1.2 seconds. I just did not have the pace at this point. And I was so baffled, to be honest. I'm not really sure like what I have to do different. And it was just, I don't know. It's crazy. I just thought my pace was so good. And coming last lap, you can see 1.8 ahead, but I'm still trying to push very hard to maybe he makes a mistake on the last lap and just going through this section here and then going to this turn and I brake really late and then